When it comes to selling your home, we want to avoid as many mistakes as we possibly can so that we don't go and make those mistakes and cost us money, right? Well, I'm going to give you 5 mistakes in this video to avoid so that you can get the most out of your home and make sure you get the right amount of attention and the right type of buyers. My name is Chris Dietz with Dietz Estates by eXp Realty. I'm your local greater Milwaukee area realtor, and I'm here to help you on your journey, no matter what that may be, whether it's 3 months from now, or it could be tomorrow, could be, a couple years from now. My contact information is always down below. You can call, text, email, or book an appointment directly on my calendar with me. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So mistake number 1 is overpricing the home. It lowers buyers' interest in the home, and overpricing it can deter those buyers from wanting to come in and see it because they think it's just out of their range, It also prolongs marketing time. That means, if it's priced too high, it's going to tend to stay on the market a little longer. And the longer it stays, it's when it makes people start thinking, well, what's wrong with this property? Why is nobody interested? And then it also ends up requiring price reductions. Eventually, it's going to come a time where you and your agent, or you and your spouse, if you're selling it by owner, are going to need to decide you want to reduce the price to try and get those folks in there that want to buy your home that can afford to do so. And that all leads to extra time. And the idea is to try and get you that better selling price right from the get-go, and instead of eliminating a lot of potential buyers that may have moved on to something else. Mistake number 2, neglecting the repairs and updates in the home. It reduces the appeal. Visible issues like you got peeling paint, or broken fixtures, or outdated appliances, or you haven't kept up with the landscaping and it looks like it hasn't been touched in years. That kind of stuff all reduces appeal. It also leads to lower offers because buyers will see those and think, okay, well, if I got to do this and I got to repair this, well, I don't want to pay this much for it if I have to have this X cost, right? So we all want to make sure that we're taking good care of the homes so that we don't have to worry about that sort of thing. So always keep up on the repairs and upgrades. You don't go crazy, but you want to do enough to at least the buyer's going to be interested and not feel like they have to lowball you. It also compromises inspection results if you don't keep up with the repairs and upgrades. Let's face it, when an inspection comes around, there's always going to be something on there the inspector's going to find, and there's nothing we can do about that. That's their job. It's important to minimize that impact so that something's more of a maintenance item rather than a defect or a critical issue that needs to be repaired like yesterday kind of stuff. So it just results in unfavorable reports, and we want to avoid those. So let's just keep in mind that we want to go ahead and not neglect repairs or upgrades. Mistake number 3, poor marketing strategy. Failing to utilize, you're failing to utilize professional photos, videos, online listings, and things like that. You're limiting your exposure when you don't have good marketing strategy. So you really want to make sure that you're using the best tools you have available to you to make sure that you're hitting all of those boxes that all the buyers would like to see within the home. Highlighting those special features, for example, with good professional photography and video. If you have an inadequate description, let's say it's vague or poorly written, it tends to fail to highlight those extra features that you really want to show off and say, hey, I know this about my home and it's great, but people aren't noticing that. Well, it might be that it's a poor description. So you want to make sure that we're really getting detailed on this kind of stuff, and your home goes out to the masses and they see, oh, that looks pretty cool, I want to go check this place out. And then the other little tidbit that comes with this one is ignoring social media. Let's face it, everybody is on social media these days. And if you're not leveraging it, you're kind of missing out on a lot of people, because that reach can be that reach can go outward. And usually, especially with video, you're talking 24/7, 365 exposure. I hope it doesn't take that long to sell your home, but it's one of those, the more people who can see it and the longer they can see it, the more people you're generating interest, and the more likely you are to find a buyer that matches the criteria that says that this is the home that they want, right? That's the whole idea, that we're trying to get you the most money and get you hooked up with the correct buyer at that time. Mistake number 4 is being inflexible with showings. I can't say how often this has come up, so we're going to go over this and break this down a little bit further. It creates missed opportunities. Restricting showing times can result in missed opportunities all the time, especially when you're extremely restrictive. because the buyers may have tight schedules too. Let's say they get off of work at 5, but you want to stop showings at 5:30. That only gives them a lot of time to get from work to their house and come visit, see your home, right? So you want to try and be open enough, but you don't want to restrict too much. Does that make sense? It also creates inconveniences. So let's say a limited availability, it creates inconveniences for buyers because they are less likely to want to view the home if it doesn't fit into their schedule. And it gives bad impressions. Buyers might perceive the seller as being unmotivated or even difficult to work with if the showings are not easily accessible and not easily accommodated if they're looking to come at a certain time. So best advice there is you want to avoid this mistake. You want to be as open as possible with your timing. The quick tip on that one, you can always do a quick meals throughout the day if you know you got a showing coming, so that you can clean up quick and easy. You don't got to worry about cleaning up a big mess or anything like that. So that'd be a little suggestion to get around that one, but I digress. It's one of the bigger mistakes that gets made, is that not being flexible with showings. And mistake number 5, not staging the home. When you don't stage the home, it lacks appeal. An unstaged home can appear cluttered, it can appear outdated, or it can even be too personalized, so that making it difficult for those buyers to envision themselves living in that home and enjoying it. So that's one thing, is it lacks the appeal. Number 2 part of that is it competes poorly. Let's face it, a staged home will always sell faster and for higher prices compared to those that are not staged. And a lot of that has to come to do with how it looks, and it's just all about showing off the property. That's what we're trying to do when we're selling a home, is showing off the property so that people look at it like, ooh, I like this, I want it. You want to create that drive to make an offer and purchase the home because you just looks that good. So that's a big reason why staging is great. And let's not forget the most important thing that we've all learned in childhood, that first impressions matter. Proper staging always creates a welcoming environment, especially for those who are a little on the fence. They may say, oh, this is really nice, I like this. And it creates a strong positive impression on buyers as soon as they walk in the door, rather than wondering what it's going to look like inside. They'll already notice by the first few steps they take. That's the whole idea behind staging. And there you have it. Those are the 5 mistakes that I came up with that I see a little bit more often than not in today's market, is that sellers are making, that may result in them not getting their home sold as fast as they want, or not for the amount of money they were hoping for. So I hope you found those items helpful, and don't forget my contact information is in the description down below, where you can call, text, email me, or even book an appointment right into my calendar. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you in the next video.